together, we can be the change.
The top HBCU programs in the nation come to Montgomery, Alabama's Riverwalk Stadium this May 11th through 14th for the Black College World Series. The best Black college baseball teams in the NCAA Division II and the NAIA will battle for Black baseball's ultimate prize. Games will be streamed live at www.mybcsn.net. Tickets are available now online at www.blackcollegechampionships.com.
Oh, that spin class was brutal. Well, you can try using the Buick's massaging seat.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on?
Sure, it's wireless.
Pick something we all like. Okay, hold on. What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password?
Buick Envision 2021.
Oh, you should pick something stronger. That's really predictable. That's a really tight spot.
Don't worry, I used to hate parallel parking.
Me too.
Hey.
Really outdid yourself.
Yes, we did.
The all-new Buick Envision, an SUV built around you, all of you.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Today is the 11th of May, 2022. And y'all know what we're doing. This is Random Thoughts with DVP. I'm your host, DVP. I'm here with my man, my super producer, Roy, who busy doing businessy things. So we're gonna have a good little show. It's gonna probably be a little quicker than normal because we all got a few little things to do. But I want to start off with my basic monologue. I want to thank you guys as y'all pop in slowly but surely, who come and join me every week that help make this show a success, support me, who argue with me, who disagree with me, who teach me things as we go along this journey. I got two topics that I want to talk about, and I'm trying to figure out which one I want to give the most value to. So I'm gonna probably narrow it down to one, just because of what we're doing today. And we all got a couple things that we need to get to. So with that being said, one of the things that I always talk about, pull up, Lyle. How you feeling? I feel like I swallowed a mustache here. Is nothing works for everybody. Everybody has their own differences. Everybody has their own likes. And everybody has their own priority system. And we got to stop taking things so literally to mean us when they clearly don't mean us. It could be something as simple as, for instance, I don't eat chicken. Do I get offended when people think all Black people eat chicken? No, I don't, because I know they're not generic. They're not specifically talking about me. But people in general eat chicken. It just is what it is. So if somebody makes a statement about chicken, I don't always take offense to it. And we seem to take a lot of offense to things that aren't pointed at us. And to me, that's kind of insane. Or because I don't do something and somebody else does, I think I'm better than them, or I think they different or weird or odd or whatever. They just do something I don't do. And that's okay. You know, I got Lyle watching on the wrong channel. I don't know why he ain't on Random Thoughts with DVP, but he was my co-host for a while. one of the things that I liked about having him is that we had two different views on things. And when you're trying to talk to people or explain things or find solutions, one very rarely is one solution the answer. This ain't math. And even when it's math, you know, there are ways that everybody use to get to the same answer. So this is one of those things we gotta stop doing. Travis, and I'm sure you got stats to point that, but I ain't even going there because clearly that ain't true. Do they kill them? Yes. Do they love killing them? Come on. What stat do you have? Travis says cops love killing black men. Please show me some stats to say that cops love killing black men. I was a cop for 22 years. I ain't killed now black man. I know plenty of cops who ain't killed now black man. Why do we like to make inflammatory statements and then we don't have any backing behind them? And this is where we lose fights because we speak with emotion and it's too easy to debunk. So then it makes your fight, it takes all the punch out your fight. All the punch. Cops kill whites, they just don't bitch and whine. They kill Asians, they just don't bitch and whine. They kill Indians, they just don't bitch and whine. Blacks love killing black men. Who kills more black men, Travis? Cops or black men? Make that whole transition make sense. You know, we got bad cops. There will always be bad cops, and there is a system for them. But to just blank say love killing black men, come on, man. Come on. Show me some stats. Point me to something. Oh, well, you made a statement. You got to put a question there, you know, because there is no validity to that statement. None whatsoever. You know what, and because it's going to be a shorter show, I'm going to hold off on my subject so I got more time. When we're talking about police justice and police reform, and this is something I spoke about passionately before because this is one of those things that I know all too well. The public refuses to hold them accountable like they refuse to hold anybody accountable. And the victimization game is getting old and weak, but it happens in other communities. It happens in other races. It happens in other nationalities. The biggest difference is those nationalities bind together and they don't make it a big habit of hunting each other down and blaming somebody else for it. Are there bad cops? Yes, there are. Are there good cops? Yes, there are. And when you consider, again, easy math, in a city like Atlanta, where there are easily 1,000 cops, easily, between the Atlanta Police Department, Fulton County Sheriff's Department, Fulton County Marshals, Fulton County Police, all the little simple college police. I would bet everything there ain't one cop killing a day in a big metro area. I would bet there ain't one cop killing a week. But I would bet there are black men killing black men every week. And it's kind of like we will make generalizations about other people to keep us from having to step up, because the argument is, oh, well, cops are sworn to do this, cops are sworn to do that. But what you tell me is you don't trust cops. So if you don't trust somebody, what difference does it make what they're sworn to do if you don't trust them? But your neighbor can kill you and we're okay with that. You know, I was on a post earlier and, you know, lady was hollering, this is why we don't snitch, because we don't trust the cops. Well, and that's your prerogative. You don't snitch because you don't trust the cops. Well, then don't be upset when your neighborhood goes to shit because you leave a predator in your midst knowingly because you're too scared of him. The same one, Mo, come on in. If you're scared, then say you're scared. But don't sit back and keep blocking and blaming somebody else because you're a punk, which is actually what it boils down to. You're a punk. Roy, if you can hear me, can you send Mo the link to the show? But we anything to avoid accountability and responsibility is what we love to do. And it sucks.
Tell him it's the same one he always has.
Mo, it's the same one. Check your inbox. It's the same one. It's the same one that's there. Why do we do that? Why do we do that? And if they love killing them, why ain't there more being killed? Because it ain't like nobody gonna tell, because everybody's already scared of them. And it's funny, everybody will say, oh, cops protect each other. But if I ask somebody, who did they tell that didn't do anything? Nobody can tell me anything. They can tell me what they heard. They can tell me what they think. They can tell me what they believe. They can tell me a bunch of other shit other than who was it that didn't do their job. Then they quiet as church mice. They got nothing to say. Oh, I got a friend. He. There we go with that shit. He what? No, he didn't. Oh, I know for a fact that this. Really? You know this for a fact. Okay. It's BS, but okay. So if you know this for a fact, then why not do something about it? You know somebody who will point you in the right direction because I have pointed people in the right direction. Because if there is a bad cop, I want them gone. And if you have the proof, it's an easy task. I promise you it's easy. But let's not get into the, oh, I don't like the way he talked to me. I don't like the way he does this. I don't like the way. Nobody really cares what you like. When we're going to sit back and talk about how to make our neighborhoods better, and Mo, this is a great show for Mo, because Mo got a great book. And man, I just had my book bag. Mo, introduce yourself right quick. Let me find my book bag so I can show you book off.
My name is Mo Triplett. I'm an author. The book that Darren's looking for is called The Good, the Bad, and the Blue. And I wrote this book about 3 years ago, and it basically covers a lot of different scenarios and cases that were associated with Black individuals. I'll just tell you, it was, in most of the cases, probably like 95% of them was police brutality. Some were, you can call them mistakes if you want, but I'll leave for the reader to decide that. But in any case, I wrote this book, and the whole point was for exposure, and so that individuals can make their choice on whether or not we have a problem, and to also have people think about what are some of the solutions we can have to these problems. Now, I have some solutions. I didn't put them in the book, but if we get into that, I'll tell you what some of the ideas I have, because some of these cases, some of these murders could have been avoided. And even if you had bad police on the force, if you change your process and protocol, you could have avoided some of these murders. Back to you, D.
And one of the best cases, and it's going on right now, because this is one of the things I wanted to talk to more about. When you look at what's going on in Minneapolis specifically, Minneapolis having case after case after case after case after case. I want to say Minneapolis probably got 5 killings in the last 5 years. That is insane. But guess who's still there? That kumbaya police chief who said he's making a difference. And ain't nobody seen to get rid of him. See, you can turn the page in a crappy book. And not this book. I'm just using this book as my example. I can turn the page in a crappy book, and I keep finding another crappy page. As long as I'm holding the same book, it ain't gonna get no better. You got a leader who is allowing this to go on. You got a leader who came before everybody, wrapped arms with the people in the community to say, oh, things gonna change under me. Ain't nothing changed under you. As a matter of fact, it's gotten worse. But because he sat there and said what you want to hear, because too many times we like people who say inflammatory things. We like people who want to talk about change, but we don't ever hold them to task. See, that's an us issue. That's where we have to take accountability and responsibility. And we don't. We'll say, oh, we'll just keep generically blaming people, but there is no way anybody can come up with any factual data that say police are even bad at a 10% level. So they're not anywhere close to the majority, but for a professional, 10% is way too much. But in other professions, 10% is a good number. That means we still batting A's. We got 90% of good cops. Bad cops are not that prevalent, but they get away because people let them get away. There is a way to beat the system. There is a way to beat the system. But guess what it calls for? It calls for action. It calls for us to do something and not be afraid. Because I've learned in my journey, not only are we afraid of snitching, we're afraid of standing up and having to do the work. We want to tell somebody, and we like to talk. You know, one of the things I like about Mo is that, you know, Mo, I want to talk about solutions. We can talk about problems all day long. I'm going to do a whole nother thing about how you can start the police reform in your area. And it ain't that hard. You know, I don't know, I think I told Mo before, but ask police chiefs when they have their meetings, ask the sheriffs, ask them, how much are y'all paying out every year in use of force or what's the word when you lock somebody up? For locking up wrong people, how much are y'all paying out? Get that number, because they don't ever just willingly share that number. But I want to say California 1 year paid out almost $10 million in use of force lawsuits. And let me rephrase, I want to say it was close to 80 million. This goes in, this becomes a part of your tax money. Yeah, they got insurance, but when the insurance go up, the property value go up, so they can tax you a little bit more. See, one of the reasons property value don't go down is because that means the county and the state don't get that much money. It's a hidden secret, but that's why your property value go up. But when they got to pay these things out, who does that affect? Well, we don't know this because nobody tells us, and nobody ever asks, hey, how much are y'all paying out of this? Because they give you a stat, well, where all the money going to? They'll tell you all the money they're spending on training. They'll tell you the money they need for equipment, but they don't ever tell you what they spending in insurance. Why is that? And see, this is where I got a small advantage over Mo, so I can tell Mo that this needs to be part of the research, because Mo probably don't, I don't know if you know, he knew or not, but did you know this stat exists, what they paying out?
I do not know.
And nobody would have did an Open Records Act on it. How much did y'all pay out in this? How much, you know, how many times did y'all arrest the wrong person that had to pay? How many times did somebody beat somebody and we didn't know about it? I know one of the agencies I worked for, they locked up the wrong guy, kept him in jail for 5 days. He lost his job, all some other stuff. Just like that, without a hearing or anything, they wrote him a check for $150,000. Just like that.
Got to come from somewhere.
150. Where do you think they came from?
Tax money.
And this happens more often than we know. It's just kept quiet because if nobody asks, they don't have to talk about it. So when we're electing people, sheriffs, mayors who appoint police chiefs, this is something we need to ask them. What are you doing? Where's our money actually going? Because the money is there for good training. But a lot of police agencies are just like people. They rather pay to fix something. They rather pay, you know, as opposed to getting it straight up front. You know how y'all do. Y'all rather keep getting that spare tire for $25 than to go ahead and buy a good tire for $150 because you ain't got the money. So all you're doing is putting you're putting a wet Band-Aid over the same cut over and over and over again. And it ain't never healing. And you keep thinking, damn, why these Band-Aids ain't working? Because you keep getting cheap Band-Aids. We like the people who come sing with us. We like the police chief or sheriff who hammers his fist down. This is dead wrong. We are gonna change this. We vote for him. And then we don't do nothing else. You know, I talked about one of the problems with churches. Come election time, all the churches got politicians coming to the church. But you don't see them again till election time when something goes wrong. They don't come tell you. When we look at how people get through the system, and they're getting through so easily. One of the things I have been pushing for forever, if a cop loses his job for use of force or anything, he should not be allowed to resign and go to another agency. Happened in Minneapolis, they hired a cop from another agency who had use of force complaints, but when he resigned, that folder doesn't go with him because he resigned before they completed the investigation. So the investigation gets closed. There is technically nothing there because you can't tell an employee about something that's going on if you don't work there no more. It's illegal. But we're talking about public officials. If I get accused of something and I leave for that, that should follow me. But it doesn't. So a lot of times you get cops who are bounced from city to city to city within the same county, with the same state, staying employed, just bouncing. But nobody challenges it, so we hire them. And you got the same predator, because there are predators. There are predators everywhere. And right now we dealing with cops. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, man, it's something that doesn't seem right because, and I can't say that I'm an expert on the prison process, but what I do know is when you get out of prison and you got a record, that thing follows you. Like I know people who've been in prison and they're like, man, I can't get this done. I can't do this because my record is always getting in the way. But for some reason, it seems like when it comes to police misconduct in the police department, that an officer could just jump to the next city, even if he just jump right to the next city and get right back on the police force.
Yeah, because they save money. They ain't got to send it back through the academy. We're gonna use me for an example. I work for Atlanta PD. I get the little call. I got to do a drug test. Well, I know I'm using cocaine, so I just quit. Just like that. I'm gonna quit, and then I'm gonna go apply for a job with Fulton County. They're gonna say, "Hey, have you been to the academy?" I'm like, "Yeah." Academy cost them about, let's just say the academy cost them about 15 grand per student. So now they get to say 15 grand. I'm experienced. Ain't nothing in my folder. I didn't take the test, so I never failed the test. I didn't take it. So guess what I can do now? Now I can start with Atlanta.
Wow.
Guess what Atlanta ain't gonna do because I'm experienced. They're not gonna put me through the same new hire stuff, so I ain't got to take a drug test now. Because when they go to my last department, they're gonna say, did he ever flunk a drug test? All they can legally say is no. They can't say he quit before when we gave him one.
Yeah, see, that's good, man. That's coming straight from the horse's mouth. And I could tell you, all the misconduct, for example, like Officer Timothy Reynolds, he had a ton of misconduct, man. And he's the man that killed Tamir Rice. And what he did after he killed Tamir Rice, he went and applied it at a different district and got his job back.
Yeah.
Because I'm just appalled, man.
Because there is no national database. And I'm all for this. The national database should include every single officer in these United States of America. We should not be allowed to hide behind anything. And if there is an open investigation, that open investigation should lock us down. It's going to suck for the good officers who are innocent. But guess what? It ain't a whole bunch of them either. Because if you got an investigation going, hold on. You know what you want to do? If somebody start investigating you, you want to clear your name. You ain't trying to run if you're innocent. You ain't trying to run. So you ain't trying to go to another department. You know who's running? The guilty guy. The guilty guy. Because he don't want to do it, but he knows this loophole is there. Go ahead, Mo.
No, I was just going to ask you, man, because this sounds totally, it just sounds like something's wrong with that. So it's an interstate database that doesn't cross lines. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
No, there is no database, period, for cops.
Not even the interstate.
No, well, only thing there. Okay, what every state has is what they have called post certification. Post means police officer safety training. This is who gives you your accreditation.
God.
All it will tell you is what classes I've taken. Now, if I do something wrong, my agency is supposed to report it to Post. Post was supposed to do an investigation. Post can take my credentials. Post can only take my credentials if I'm reported. Again, if my agency decides they want to investigate me if I quit, there's nothing to send to Post. Because the rules don't say it's still got to be sent forward. And that's where it's got to stop. The minute I'm under investigation, it should be sent to Post. All complaints, all citizens' complaints should be in a database for that city. And they can hold on to them so that if something happens in your city, that database is there so you can see it. And anything that's found, you can push them up, but there has to be a central database. Right now, you can't find out unless you know the right questions to ask. If you know how the Open Records Act works, what's going on with somebody? And again, the Open Records Act is only as smart as you are. I work for Fulton County Sheriff's Office. If you want to know what happened, you're gonna file an open rec with Fulton County. Well, Fulton County, who I work for, will only give you certain things. Now, Mo is my supervisor. Mo wrote me up for something. That folder that Mo got stay with Mo. Unless Mo write me up for something that requires me to be disciplined, then he gonna send it up his chain of command, which stays in the sheriff's department. The sheriff's department can say, no, we're just gonna retrain him. It stops right there. It still don't make it to the county. It only makes it to the county if it costs me money, because the county is the only one who can take my money. The sheriff's department can't take my money. So see how you can keep chopping the system off at the knees, and nobody knows this. And this is why people think that nothing happens, because nothing is ever told. So Mo did his job. Mo want to get me off the street. Mo wrote me up. Mo said I should be terminated. After Mo do that, guess what? Mo ain't got no say so in nothing else. So now Mo do his part to get me out the system. Now I go see the colonel. Well, me and the colonel cool. Colonel said, Bill, you got to stop doing this. Mo wants you fired. What we're going to do is we're going to send you to conflict resolution. We're going to send you back to this training, that training. And we're going to leave this in your personal folder for 30 days. Well, my personal folder ain't worth shit to nobody. It's my personnel folder that everybody wants to see. And guess what? You don't get to see the chief's personal folder. You don't get to see that. You don't get to see Mo's personal folder. They can't go to Mo and say, Mo, how many officers have you written up this year? Mo ain't allowed to keep that and share that with people. See, that's how the system is flawed. Because we got, Mo don't have, I ain't got to tell you how many times I spanked my child. I only got to tell you how many times they got suspended by the school. That's it.
Yeah.
And all in-school detention ain't reported because it's in school. It's nothing really happened. They didn't miss nothing. They didn't miss no classes. Didn't cost nobody no money. We just made them stay and clean the lunchroom for 3-4 days. So technically, it's BS probation. No harm, no foul. And this is how we get caught up in that system where bad officers feel empowered because the system empowers them. Because I still believe most bad officers they don't just join the department, they are created by departments. Because if I know you ain't gonna do nothing to me, AKA, what's the guy's name that killed George Floyd?
Oh, I forgot his name. I know who you're talking about though.
Yeah, y'all know the guy that killed. Anyway, when you look at his jacket, his personnel folder says 21 accusations of excessive force. 21. That is obscene. Ladies and gentlemen, I fought people for a living. They knew that I fought people. Yeah, Derek Chauvin. They knew that I fought people. I fought people. In 22 years of fighting people, I had 3 complaints about use of force, excessive use of force.
Wow.
I fought people at one time. I was probably fighting 2-3 people a month, but it wasn't excessive. So it takes a lot. And with his 21 complaints under this new police chief, I want to say when the new police chief came, he probably only had 15 or 16. He promoted him to training officer. So what message was he sending? I got all these reports about you abusing people. I'm going to let you be in charge of training other people. So.
Yeah, I'm sorry, D, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that part, I just didn't understand that. So the name is Derek Chauvin. That's his name, Derek Chauvin. Yeah. But I'm just like, I don't even know how he became an FTO, and he's supposed to be setting the standard. And if that, and we all seen the standard on TV. If that's the standard, forget about it.
But forget FTO. How did he keep his job? See, we skipped to the end. He should have never been allowed to stay. So now, and this is why, from a professional standpoint, I could defend those other officers. This is their training officer. They're gonna do what he been. This is their training officer.
All day long.
Why would they think they're doing anything wrong? This is their training officer. Yeah. If y'all ever been in the military, your sergeant runs things. The captain is in charge, but the sergeants run stuff. The FTO is a god. When he say something, that's pretty much because guess what? I'm gonna flip the script now. Mo want to be a cop. They say, Mo, you got to ride with FTO Bell. If Mo do something I don't like, I can end Mo's career. Mo can't complain on me. I'm a training officer. He a newbie trying to get a job. Remember, all those other guys were new. If I say Mo, stand right there and don't let nobody come up on me, if Mo want this job, guess what Mo got to do? Mo got to stand right there and don't let nobody come up on me. And this is the problem that we have when we don't know the system or how it works. Because it took a simple open records request to get shot and stuff. It's documented. It wasn't no whistleblower. There was no whistleblower. And we fell for the okie doke because we was happy to get him off the street and see him go to prison, right? Off the street, good job. But what did Minneapolis change after that? You know how long it take to change? You know how long it take to change a policy? 5 minutes. Remember, after this, you can go back and look it up. How the state of Minnesota started banning chokeholds. It don't take an act of Congress. You don't have to go through nobody. New York started banning chokeholds. California started banning chokeholds. Chokeholds are illegal in Georgia. They've always been banned. Why they couldn't ban them before? Why they couldn't ban him after his 15th complaint or his 8th complaint or his 4th complaint? They banned him because he got caught on TV. They did it just like that. That shows you how much it takes. Don't take an act of Congress.
Yeah, they banned the chokeholds in New York after Eric Garner got killed.
After it was on tape.
Exactly. After he got killed and we all saw it. Saw it because a lot of people probably experienced that chokehold.
And this is what they teach. This is what they teach. Remember now, see, I can speak from experience because I worked at the academy. There are certain things I never taught. Now, I have taught this chokehold, but I teach the chokehold in the deadly force class because it is not something you can do unless you are truly, and hear me out on this. This is super important. I want you to make sure you hold me to, you can use deadly force as an officer. 3 things have to be present. 3. Guess what? Ain't none of them fall under. Being afraid, being in fear of your life ain't a reason that you can use deadly force for no cop whatsoever. And what's the phrase that they always use? I was scared. And we fall for it.
I'm in fear of my life. Yeah.
That is not a leap. That is for Mo, he can use that. My wife can use that. DVP can never use that phrase to shoot somebody. Ever. Not legally. For police officers, for anybody who is in law enforcement, 3 things have to be present at the same time. You have to be in jeopardy. The person that puts you in jeopardy has to have the ability or opportunity to harm you in a lethal way. You got ability and opportunity. They have to be able to. We talked about what's the one kid name? Because it was in your book, and it's the one I keep telling people I got a problem with it. I don't care how you feel about it. These are just facts. The one kid that was walking away from the officer, and he said he was going in his car to get a gun, and the officer shot him. It was a young boy. I can't remember his name, but it was because I got it in my notes. But he had already beat the officer up.
Michael Brown?
I think so.
Michael Brown?
Is that a young kid?
Big. He was a big boy.
Yeah.
Big kid.
Already beat the officer
Michael
up.
Brown, maybe.
Yep. And he was walking away, but according to sources, he had already said he was gonna go get something and come back and kill the officer. That's it. See, he had already accomplished most of what he was doing. That's the only one I got real questions about. But if you don't have ability, opportunity, and jeopardy at the same time, you cannot use deadly force. And if you go to a great trainer like myself, I'm tooting my own horn right now. Jeopardy is the 4th thing that most people not jeopardy. Preclusion is the 4th factor that most people don't teach, but I teach it in my class. And preclusion just means that I'm gonna use Mo again because Mo my man. Me and Mo, I'm the cop. Mo's the bad guy. All right. Mo got a gun. He got a gun. You know what that means? Absolutely nothing. As long as that gun in his waistband, he is not a threat. I feel like he could be. Nobody cares how I feel. The law says what it says. When he touches that gun, now he has the ability. All right, y'all with me? Remember I told you 3 things legally, 4 things in my word. He has the ability. You need all 3 of them to exist. He touches the gun. He pulls the gun out. Now he has the opportunity. I still ain't in jeopardy yet. When he start raising that gun up, and then I can do it. Now, most time this happens really quick. See, for me, preclusion, even if he turns around If he turned around and walk away, he still got a bill of opportunity. And we go with what he could do, because technically I could be in jeopardy, but he's walking away. Preclusion means he's got to point the gun at me or toward an innocent person before I can fire my weapon. That's the law, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, if somebody break in your house and you're a civilian, you don't need any of those things. You can be in fear of your life. But as a cop, that won't work for me. So every time I see a cop holler, oh, I was scared. Who cares? You know what we are on every traffic stop? We're scared. Every somebody I pull over and I don't know who they are or what they are, I'm scared. I can't just shoot them because I'm scared. The girl in Dallas that shot the guy when she was going home because he was sitting there eating ice cream, I'm sure she was in fear of her life, because I know several people who died from having vanilla ice cream tossed at them. I don't know how the hell that happened. And I'm listening. You know what I'm talking about? I want to say her name was Amanda or something, but you know the girl in Dallas who went into the wrong apartment and shot the black kid?
Oh, yeah.
So here she is. Here are the facts that we know. She was in uniform. She stayed in one of these little subdivisions or high rises where all the apartments look alike. So we're gonna say right now, everything is legit. Everything. I'm gonna make this easy for her. She goes to apartment 21C as opposed to 31C. And for some reason, the numbers ain't on the door. So she enters the wrong apartment. And this is why I need for y'all to stay focused. She enters the wrong apartment. How many times are you tired that you don't recognize your own furniture? But we're going to say she was dead tired. She didn't recognize her furniture. She sees this black guy. It's alarming. She knows she ain't got no black guy in the house. She shot him. Right now, we're going to say she's still innocent. Okay? The minute she shot, this is what they train you for at the police academy. Excuse me. Once you use deadly force, you know what the next thing you do is? Thank you, Sammy Amber Geiger. The next thing you do after you shoot somebody is you call radio and let them know you just shot somebody. Start a 4, which is an ambulance or a medical unit. So she shot somebody. She in uniform, so she should still have her police mentality going. And this is where I want y'all to understand why I'm having a distaste for attorneys. So when she shot this guy, the first call she made was to her boyfriend. That's not police training. If she was truly innocent and everything was wrong, she should have been on that radio and said, radio, start me before I shot a guy. And then I would have believed she did. It would have been more believable that it was an innocent act. But you know what else you got to do when you shoot somebody? You got to assess the scene. You got to go over to them and start the first aid process. She ain't do none of that. You in uniform, so you still got that cop mindset. She had a uniform on. But none of this was ever brought up, her police training. And this is when I see these cases, this is the first thing I look at, is police training. Because one of the things they tell me all the time, is instructor liability. If I teach something that can get somebody hurt, I can get sued. If I teach somebody and somebody use my technique and it ain't right, I can get sued. So I make sure all of my shit is top notch. This is why I go above and beyond. This is why I know how the system goes, and I try to tell people when there's something going on. If you send me the details, all I can give you is cut and dry what the law says. You may not like my answer, but all I can tell you is what the law say. Her training says she's supposed to call for an ambulance. She never did. Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me, I gotta ask you a question, man, because the one, everything you said is accurate, but the one thing I don't understand is that I thought when you if you're a police officer and you're gonna try to apprehend somebody, you never do that alone. So I'm not quite sure why she felt she needed to apprehend this individual by herself.
Well, in her case, in her defense, because I gotta give the basic. She was going home, so there was no time to call for a backup. Now, I'm gonna give you something that's hilarious. I had to teach this. Most agencies say if I know that I'm going after a felon, I can't do it by myself. Right. Almost every agency in the country says that for known felons, there needs to be at least 2 officers. At least
Makes
2.
Sense.
So I'm gonna give you a case that the cops hated me for. In Pittsburgh, there was a police ran across a stolen car. A stolen car is a felon. It is. So the police ran the tag, the car can't come back stolen. The police doing what police do. He activated his lights and emergency equipment, yada, yada, yada. They get into a little small chase. He chases the guy into a corner. Okay? Never called for backup. The guy who stole the car jumps out the car, shoots at the police. Police shoot him twice, kill him. And guess what happened? The city of Pittsburgh had to pay his family for unlawful death because he should have never chased a fleeing. He should have never chased a felon by himself, according to their policy. So when I gave this scenario to the cops, everybody said, "Oh, good shoot, good shoot, good shoot." No, it's not a good shoot. Your policy says you cannot do that. You weren't in any danger. Now, the caveat, the glitch in the system is, again, I'm gonna use Mo. If Mo is a convicted felon and Mo starts to do something, he starts to put other people in danger, I got the right to keep going, and I'm not supposed to lay back. But if he's in a car, nobody's in danger of him being in a stolen car. I can just follow the car. There's no need for me to even activate my equipment. Once the car comes back stolen, I should just lean back, have another unit, meet me somewhere, and then we're going to attack the car together. That's what training is. And training is a major part of most of these lawsuits.
Or,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, or if I'm just chilling in my apartment, you got time to call for a second, wait outside somewhere outside the house to make sure you don't leave. You got time to call for backup.
You're right. And we go through these Superman and hero issues wanting to be John Wayne, and it's BS. And trust me, I was looking for this guy who had 3 murders under his belt. And I'm just trying to figure out where he's staying, where his hunting grounds are, because I got a tip of where he might be. So I'm just going to verify and look at the address. And Buddy came out of the corner store, walked right in front of me. I saw him, and I had a choice. I had a choice to make. I ain't telling nobody else to do this. I took my suspension like a champ. I was in a white Ford van. That was my vehicle. I hit him. I ain't hit him hard now. I ain't a speeder. I just tapped him. I jumped out the car like a good Samaritan, and I said, "Yo, bro, my bad. Let me help you up." And when he reached up and grabbed my hand, to pull him up, I cuffed him. He just looked at me and started laughing. He's like, "Damn, you good." I got a 3-day suspension for that. I got a 3-day suspension. And I didn't argue because at that point, what could I do? Well, why were you even looking for him? I wasn't looking for him. I just wanted to look at the neighborhood. I had no idea he would be there. And, well, why'd you hit him? I said, shit, I need to get his attention. And in my mind, right then, what better way to get his attention than to bump him with the car and then jump out and act like I want to help him? Hey, New Jack City, it was a smart way to get, because his guard was down. Like I said, I didn't hit him hard. I just took my foot off the brake like I was an inattentive driver. And I just bumped him and knocked him down. No bruises, no nothing. And when I reached out to help him, he wasn't even mad. When I put that cuff on him, he wasn't even mad. He wasn't even mad. Wow. It's crazy. We laughed all the way to the jail. He said, "I can't believe you hit me and caught me." I said, "Dude, stop playing anyone like I hit you hard." And we laughed about it. We laughed about it. But my supervisor was like, "Why'd you arrest him?" I was like, "What was I supposed to do? This dude is wanted for murder. I can't in good conscience just let him keep walking by. The opportunity was there. The plan hit my mind. I didn't have time to call for nobody. I can't tell him to just stay in the crosswalk and give me 10 minutes. But I knew I was wrong per the policy. And, but those are things that it worked out well in that instance. Because, like I said, he wasn't bruised, but you got to know what the policy says. And too many times, attorneys will lie to us, being Trump, and we don't get proper justice. As we're seeing now with the Ahmaud Arbery stuff, we're seeing all the times that the district attorney was talking to the shooters. So we happy that those guys are going to prison, but the system is still a mess. Why ain't the DA on trial? Why ain't everybody who was complicit in that cover-up, why ain't they part of the RICO statute? Why? And see, this is where we can't be satisfied with just somebody being taken off the street. You got to knock down the whole system. You got to knock down the collective, because if not, you got the same acts perpetuating over and over again under different names. So we only found out about Ahmaud Arbery because some kind soul leaked the tape. But you got to remember, they all had this tape. and them guys was walking free. They had the tape. So McMichael and his friends going to jail, but what about all the police that saw that tape? The district attorney that saw that, okay, that's what's up. My friend Wanda, she's one of my experts. She said the DA has been indicted. And that's a great thing, but why did it take so long? She should have been on trial with them. All this was going on then. And this is where we have to be more intelligent and reach out and ask people who know, as opposed to keep spreading folklore and street knowledge, which is BS, and we don't know how to fix a system. We don't know how because we've been brainwashed. You got to be a special kind of, and I don't mean to hurt none of y'all feelings, but if this is you, you got to take it like it is. You got to be a special kind of stupid to let a predator live in your midst among you, and you don't want to do nothing about it because you're scared of them. They're predators. You being scared of them only makes them more powerful. And you hope and you hope and you hope and you hope they don't come to you, but when it's your time, then what? Everybody else gonna be just like you. They ain't gonna know nothing. Mo know I'm a predator. Mo knows what I'm doing. He ain't saying nothing because, man, you know, D crazy, he might do me next. So what happened when I do him next? What happened if I kill his wife? Now he gonna want other people to step up. But when his neighbor wife got killed, he didn't say nothing. So why do we want people to step up now? And that's the ignorance that we gotta stop. There are ways. Most cops do not like bad cops. It's a simple process. Yes, there are some factions where the blue silence is deep, but that's amongst a bunch of old heads. Right, as one said, most people are afraid of repercussions. But repercussions, or the fact that you got a killer or whatever living amongst you who gonna come and get you one day, what's the difference? How long are we gonna live in fear? We keep swearing we warriors and we doing this and we gonna take back our neighborhoods, but as one of my favorite songs say, we giving our neighborhoods away one rock at a time, one block at a time, whether it's the bad cops or whether it's the bad players. At some point, you got to stand strong. Bullies exist because we keep the lights off when they show up. Bad cops exist because we keep the lights off when they show up. I have been to trial for 3 bad cops because people gave me information. 2 of them I probably should have minded my own business. They led to my early retirement, but I don't care. I can't take it. And if you give me evidence, I'm gonna tell you how to get everything done. You know, I got blackballed. It was like, I can't believe you went and told the GBI. Well, I tried to tell y'all, but y'all told me I was crazy. I got the receipts for how crooked these people are. I got the receipts. So when we got bad cops, there are ways to get rid of them. But understand, to get rid of a bad cop, you gotta get the head. Who hired him? Who's keeping him around? Who is it that's empowering him? He didn't get all that power by himself. You can't come in as a dirty cop and be running shit. You need for somebody else to make it easy for you. You need somebody else to make it easy for you. And that's where we gotta go. We can't, Chauvin is who Chauvin is. But let's look at his evaluations. Everybody that signed off on his evaluation, knowing that he had these use of force complaints. We call that in the civil world, negligent retention, negligent entrustment, negligent training. These are all things that you can get paid for. And don't get me wrong, we can't keep knocking everything down to dollars and cents, but why not? Why not? Money teaches. So you got supervisor or managers who knew he had these complaints who did nothing, helped him get promoted. You got a police chief who promoted him with these complaints. I don't know, don't work. The police chief gets to see everything. Somebody saw these complaints and they kept pushing them aside. Like I said, they weren't hard to find. Somebody saw them. Oh, damn, look at this dude. He kind of violent. Let's promote him. Maybe that'll stop him. Does that make any sense? What's up, Vic? Does that make any sense? We got a bad cop, let's promote him and give him more money and let him train other people, and maybe he'll become a better person. Go figure. Go figure. And when you look at now the way cops are going to jail, you can't keep passing the myth off that we're gonna protect each other. They're going to jail at crazy rates now because as people come out and they see stuff, other cops want it gone. But what other cops can't do is when you see what you see on the TV, we can't hand walk you through how to get rid of the whole system. I'm retired. I don't care. I ain't got nothing to lose. They can't do nothing to my pension now. So I can tell you, like I said, I started reading more book and I had to start writing notes because I like, yeah, Mo don't even know to ask this question. He on a good path with a lot of his information is good information. There's a couple things I ain't agree with, but we don't have to agree. The goal through conversation is to educate each other, not agree or disagree. If Mo don't know something, I need to turn that light on for him. So now he can ask better questions because he may have a question that I never thought of because I'm in the system. And his book gave me some questions that I never would have asked because I'm over, which is a good thing for me, but a bad thing for Mo. So there's equality in that because there's some things you just overlook when you know everything about the system. And Mo asked some questions in the book that I was like, damn, I didn't think of that one. I got to put that one down to make sure I have to explain this to people. And this is where we can't be so combative when people try to tell us stuff. This is where Wanda come in. When I got questions about how the post system works, Wanda's the best person I know to give me that. Mo, you were talking about convicted felons, having that stigma. Well, Dr. Dale is the best person to ask for that. You can, if you've done your time and you are free from parole and probation, a lot of times you can get all your rights back. But there's a process for it. We just never talk about it. And these are the things that we have to educate ourselves on and stop being afraid to just speak out. Because the best conversations come from people just saying stuff and they hit fresh air. I didn't know you didn't know. Hell, had I not read this book, I didn't know, I wouldn't have knew a lot about how Mo felt about police and everything. Now, anytime I want to discuss police or law enforcement, I always want Mo because he can ask me questions that I may just look over because I've been in the field. Sometimes I go straight to Wanda and ask her questions because Wanda knows a little bit more about the administrative side of the system. And this is how we get together and we form teams. And Mo can go out and ask people questions or let them ask him questions. He say, I got somebody I know, I can ask him. And this is what we got to do because we got to get rid of them because, yeah, we do entrust them with protecting the public. But understand this with protecting the public. And this is one of the things I had to tell people. The same thing you see and you try to perpetuate about cops being bad, they see the same videos with us jumping each other, slapping each other, bullying each other. So I can't tell them not to be afraid of some of us. They don't know the difference. They can't look at you on a traffic stop and tell the difference between niggas and black people. They look alike. You can't look at a cop and tell whether he's a good cop or a bad cop. It's the same uniform. So there are times when, yeah, I can't tell them not to be scared when they pull Mo over. Look at Mo. If I didn't know him, how would I know who he is? He got the sweatsuit on. He got the angry face going. I don't know what's on his mind. Do I treat him like a good citizen and risk getting killed? Or do I treat him like a nigga and let him be upset, but I survived? That's a slippery slope to walk. I mean, I always tell them, start off with the Queen's English and work your way down. Don't start off being disrespectful and try to work your way up because you can't. But to think that I ain't gonna be scared when I pull over somebody who I don't know, that's insanity. Because I don't know. I don't know what is on his mind. I'm pulling Mo over because he ran a stop sign. Mo know he just killed 2 people. He got them in the trunk. He don't know why I pulled him over. He may think somebody told on him. So Mo got a whole different mindset. I just want to give him a ticket for running the stop sign. Mo don't know that. Mo don't know that. All he knows is he just saw some blue lights and here comes somebody trying to take his freedom. And this is why people don't understand. Why? Oh, if you're scared, you shouldn't be doing the job. You got to be stupid if you think we ain't scared. You got to be stupid if we run the people shooting and, you know, yeah, we got a shot of adrenaline, but we're running in the wrong direction. We're not running to safety. We're running to protect strangers. And am I saying cops are better than regular people? Yeah, in a sense I am, because we volunteer to help strangers all the time. We risk our lives to help total strangers and be disrespected all the time. Think about that. Some of y'all won't help your friend out, but we will. When somebody breaking in your mama's house, guess what? 9 times out of 10, a stranger's gonna beat you there. And we gonna go because that's what we're supposed to do. That's what we signed up for this. Are there some bad apples in the bunch? Absolutely. But most of them are not. Most of them are not. So yeah, it takes a special kind of stupid to keep risking your life for people who not going to appreciate it. And you see, like now, I'm looking at this new wave of cops, man, and most of them ain't bad people. They're not bad people, but they're not good cops. They're not bad cops. They're just not good cops. They're coming straight out of college. They ain't never been in no stressful situation before. The first thing they run into is a career criminal who huffing and puffing. They don't know that life. They shooting because they scared. It ain't because of bad training. It's because they've never been in the situation. When we used to when I used to teach at the academy, we put our cops through scenarios. I'm pushing you hard. I'm cheating. My job is to get you past the this just a drill. Oh no. I need to get your adrenaline flowing. I need to see how you're gonna react to true stress. So there's some scenarios where you have to fight us. You have to fight us. There's no way of getting around it. I got your name. My other 4 instructors, we got your name. We passing that sheet on. You're gonna have to fight in one of them 4 scenarios. In one of them 4 scenarios, you have to pull your gun. The other ones, you could talk your way out of, unless we see you doing something crazy. Then we're gonna push the envelope because it's our job to push you so we can see what you're truly gonna do. Most agencies don't like that because when I push you, guess what happens? A lot of people start failing. You can't keep failing. Yes, I can. One of my favorite students, every time I called her a bitch, she shot me. Every time. Bitch, what you gonna do? Bam. Wow. 4 scenarios, she shot me for calling her a bitch. She's not suitable for duty. Oh, I ain't gonna let nobody call me no bitch. Oh, I'm a really? She not. He's like, why you say? I said, it's on the report. She's not suitable. She gonna shoot anybody that calls her bitch.
Hey, you know what she did, right? You know what she did, right?
She got promoted to management.
Or she went the next town over, like Timothy Reynolds did.
They pulled me out of the class to stop teaching.
Oh, man.
She's a captain now. And this is the thing, because I taught a lot of people. And it's good. Oh, they're like, man, you gave me some good stuff. They don't get that now. They're giving them paperwork. What do you do in this scenario? What do you do? It's easy to answer questions, but until you get put under stress, I tell people all the time, I can give you stress without putting you in danger. If you got kids, buy water pistols. Have your kid chase you with a water pistol and try to open the door with a key. Because sticking a key in ain't that hard. But when you under stress, because people don't understand why you could shoot somebody with a knife, because they don't understand what 21 feet is and how quick it is to run a straight line, you can't run backwards and stay coordinated. So there are easy things to do. But have somebody chasing you and you try to open that door. It ain't happening because your fine motor skills go. This is why some things happen. And these are the things you have to do to provide stress. You just got to. And your agencies don't want to do this. When I say, hey, every agency should have a citizen police force. Every agency should have a use of force board with civilians on it. But the civilians have to have went through mandate, which is the police training. So they know when and where something is supposed to happen. Because if you don't know, you can say, oh, they shouldn't have shot. Well, if you don't understand the bill of opportunity and jeopardy, you don't understand the whole process. If you don't understand, or if you ain't never been put through that stress yourself, you won't understand what you're seeing in the moment, because it's like Monday morning quarterbacking. We don't understand how professional basketball players can miss free throws. You're a professional. All you gotta do is shoot free throws. Why can't a man who making $20 million a year shoot 90% free throws? Can't nobody jump in front of him. They can't do nothing but talk. It's right there. You figure if the stress of shooting a free throw, he can't. Some of these players can't even get 70, and this is what they do for a living. You think cops can handle all stressors like you do when you're sitting there with no stress on you? No stress whatsoever on you. It's a whole different animal when you got to be pushed through that system. And the quicker you let me push you through that, the easier it is for you to understand how to progress through it. And I always use the driving scenario. When we first learn how to drive, we start off at 10 and 2. We did all the right things. We checked the mirrors. We did all this before we hit the blinker. Some of y'all now, if somebody pull in front of you right now, most of y'all can check the rear view mirror, check your side mirrors and know whether to brake, go left or go right without even thinking about it, because you've been through that scenario. You don't even remember doing all these things. But how is when somebody cut in front of you, you manage not to hit somebody else? Because your mind has had this experience, so it knows how to do things for you quick. When you train yourself to do things, you make quicker decisions. You make quicker decisions because your mind knows what to do now. Some of y'all cook, don't even need to cook no more because you've done it so many times, you just know what to do. And that's what you got to do. You have to train for bad scenario. You have to train for worst case scenarios. As civilians, we have to train to be more knowledgeable. We have to know what's going on and what can and can't be. Don't be fooled by TV. Why don't you just shoot somebody in the leg? You've got to be shitting me. You know how hard it is to hit a chest? You want me to hit a little bitty piece like this that's moving? That is insanity. That is insanity. Bobby Wilson says, cops are not under stress or fear. They're just as bad as the citizens. Cops are here for the protection of citizens. I'm pretty sure they are hired for the protection of the upper class. And see, Bob, I'm gonna tell you why that's such a fallacy. I don't know why you think they're not under stress or under fear. I can tell you that is just, that's a straight lie. And they're not there for the upper class. Most of the time, they don't even patrol upper class neighborhoods. So just to answer that right quick, I'm gonna tell you how, what's the word? Oh, Mo, what's the word when you profiling? You know who gets profiled? Upper class citizens. You will never see a DUI task force in the hood. You know why? Because y'all ain't got no money in the hood. Every time you find a bunch of drunk drivers, they are in rich neighborhoods because they can afford those fines. They can afford the fines. You ain't gonna find the DUI task force outside Nam Black nightclub. They ain't got no money. They don't want you to go to jail. They want you to pay them fines. They want you to pay the fines. That's the only time they're in rich neighborhoods. Rich neighborhoods, they got security, they got watches. Most time they got their own security. Most time they got their own security. Why would they be sent out to poor and disenfranchised communities? Baba, who you think calling them? Who you think calling? I can tell you more 911 calls come from poor and disenfranchised communities because cops don't want to ride through them. They don't, but they can't get around it. They can't get around it. Rich people have a totally different way of dealing with crime than we do. And we don't want to accept that as a norm because we'll give all these other standards about being on top of each other and doing this and doing that. And I tell everybody, I worked narcotics for a long time. An upper class woman called us. She said, hey, them kids across the street are selling drugs. Well, how you know? She said, I got them on tape. She gave us a video showing all this little traffic. She said, I'm going out of town for a couple of weeks. Here go the keys to my house. And here goes some blank tape so y'all can record and do anything y'all want to. See, she want them out. She wants them out.
Wow.
Black people, we've been hoping and praying for so long. Well, I'm going to just talk to them. Maybe they're going to do this. Well, as long as they don't bother me, I ain't going to say nothing. But when the random shootings happen, where do most random shootings happen, Bobby Wilson? They don't happen in upper class neighborhoods. I ain't saying they don't happen at all. They just don't happen as often. They handle beefs better. They don't just randomly go around just shoot. What just happened in Gwinnett County? Black woman shooting at a school bus. How retarded is that? Why? Why is she shooting at a school bus? Upset. So when we're doing this, and this is why I implore people, don't judge cops. What they say, it'll be part of the problem or part of the solution. Some of y'all need to join the police academy, and then you can become a part of the solution for your own community. You can join, and then you can share information with people how to make it better. You know, I always feel good when people call me knowing who I am and knowing where I'm from, and I can give them information on how to fix their system. I can only do this because I was that. I don't have to talk about what I think. I can tell them exactly what to look for, where to go. And, you know, on one hand, we put people at a disadvantage. You know, people don't say, oh, you ain't gonna do this because you're a cop. But, you know, I was black. I've been black. I'm 56. I've been black 56 years. I was a cop for 22 years. I've always been black. They don't know I was a cop when they pulled me over, but I know what they're supposed to do. So I got a slight advantage because I know what their training is. I know what I'm looking for when I look in the rearview mirrors. I know if I see something suspicious, I do roll my windows up. I do. Don't get it twisted. But I still know what I look like. I know where I've been and kind of what they see. Again, are some cops bad? Absolutely. Are some cops good? Absolutely. But what is it that we do to help that scene? I've been accosted by people for simply pulling them over for speeding. And they get aggressive. They want to jump out the car because they want to explain their case. I don't want to hear your fucking case. Dude, you were doing 85 and a 55. Oh, nigga, you ain't got nothing else you could be doing? Yeah, but you stopped me because you was being disrespectful and speeding. See, so now we finna have a war of words because I'm trying to be a professional. Well, initially, all I wanted to do was slow down. Now they're going to get a ticket. And actually, you can't get a ticket for 30 miles over. It's a super speeder. So I was going to drop the ticket down so I don't have to arrest them. But the more aggressive they get, what do you think I'm going to do? You think I'm going to keep negotiating with an aggressive person toward me? Oh, man, you could have gave me a break. You're right, I could have. Before I was a sorry nigga and I could have been doing all this other stuff. So now I'm the enemy because I could have been doing something else. But people don't want to accept their responsibility in some of these things. But you want the cop. Now you want me to, oh, we brothers, we are from the same struggle. No, we're not from the same struggle. I'm trying to make my community better. You trying to make the community work for you. See, my job is to make the community safe. I'm here to protect communities. I'm here to protect innocent people, the people who want it, not everybody. And Bob, I can tell you never been a cop because I've arrested judges and mayors' kids. And they were on their hands and knees. But so don't confuse what we do with what TV shows you. Don't confuse what we do with what you see. And that's what people love to do. We see this. You won't see cops going into rich neighborhoods. You want to know why? Not because they're racist. There just ain't a whole lot going on unless you go to certain parts. It's easy to go to any hood and sit in a van and watch shit. You ain't even got to wait 10 minutes. If I go to Alpharetta, it's going to be, if I go to Alpharetta, because we tried doing some traffic stops in Alpharetta. 5 hours, we found 3 violators. I go to Old National, I can find 3 violators in 5 minutes. See, so we keep wanting to act like everything is equal. But we arrested the mayor's son, pepper sprayed the mayor's son. But guess what? He ain't gonna make no big public stink. So it ain't gonna be nowhere unless you're part of the system. See, so a lot of times we speak from a point of ignorance because we don't know because nobody told us. So we think we know what's going on, but if you're not part of the system, all you're doing is guessing. That's all we're doing. And that was the greatest part about being part of the system. That's why I love to have more in here so he can ask me things, because we think things that are never true, which is why I say, do a ride along, find out what really goes on, then speak from a point of clarity and knowledge. Because now, oh, I see why this is like this now. I see why this is like this. Damn, you know, I fought a guy in a wheelchair. Everybody wanted to tell me how wrong I was. Play the tape back. But it was good with that wheelchair. The wheelchairs are all metal. Ain't none of them wheelchairs aluminum. He had already hit me in the leg twice with the little leg thing. I'm trying to figure out how to politely take him down. He's aggressive. He's spinning around because I just want him to stop. I'm trying to grab hold of the handle so I can get it. He is not letting it. So eventually, I just had to rush the wheelchair and knock him out the wheelchair. And then I drug him to the back. Oh, you ain't have to do all that. You're right, I didn't have to, but he made me. You can't be nice to everybody. Oh, if he was white, you wouldn't have did that. Well, if he was white, would he have done the same thing? So we can't keep comparing apples to oranges. I had a white boy who boo-booed on himself. He was aggressive. We pulled him through the window. He was rich and aggressive. But people don't see that. And unless we sit back and just go over everything, you know, we don't talk about it. So people say, oh, you want to do this? I spent 5 years on the task force. And it's crazy. You know, it was, when I first got there was 2 black people, then it just ended up being me. You know, one of the first things that my white lieutenant told me, he said, we don't go after black people because they don't have shit. Our job is to seize assets and get money. I was like, wow, that is so interesting. But they did not want you to go out. For me to go after somebody black, I had to have a dossier with them having money or funds or something. But the lieutenant was clear. We're not looking for street dealers. We're looking for people who got money. We're here to seize assets. I had come from a drug task force where that's all they wanted was black people. See, so if you don't know, because I didn't want to go to that one because I thought it was going to be more of the same. But this is what they do. And this is the things you got to get to know. And they got a system. They got a system. If he ain't got a nice car, a nice house, ignore him. I don't care what he's trying to do. They made me keep $500. If you can't buy at least, if he ain't selling at least $300 at a time, don't deal with him. But rule number 2 was do not buy pocket level drugs. They were legit. They were legit. Let me see here. I got a couple of questions. And Bob, yeah, you're a career soldier. So if you're a soldier, you know a lot of things we do in war ain't what people know about. They know what they see on TV. They know it because I spent time in the military. What people think I do and what I do, they don't want to know all that. And a lot of them, it's gonna mess up their dream of being persecuted when they truly not as persecuted as they believe. Let's see. They were not created to stop crime, at least as not most people understand it. They weren't, but that was a long, long time ago. Let's see, are you familiar with the bus pulled over? Now, I read, I'm sorry, Mark, have you seen the one where the lacrosse team is saying they got racially profiled in Georgia? Now, that's on my list of things to read, Juan.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it just happened. I want to say I saw it maybe about 7 hours ago, maybe. We may all speak from a point of ignorance because cops come from us and paychecks control our workers. Nah, they don't. They don't. Understand, there are lots of things you can make money doing. But for those of us that want to be cops, it's like those of us who want to be soldiers. We don't do it for the money. We do it for the cause. We do it for the cause. And that's why probably has to make you stupid. But there are things that I did that, yeah, they didn't make no sense. If my mother or my wife would have known what I was doing, they would have been pissed at me. Your parents, your loved ones ain't gonna never be happy with you running into danger to protect total strangers. Because you know what my mom wants, you know what my wife wants? They want me to come home. They want me to come home safe all the time. But my job don't allow that. My job puts me in danger 60% of the time. I would say realistically, 60% of the people I dealt with had bad intention. So at some point, you have to gain a strategic advantage. Sometimes that means I was rude to people for the wrongest of reasons, but I had to do that to make sure that I was safe. I pull over Mo, he in a car with his wife and 2 other people. That's 4 against 1 right there. I don't know what they want. I don't know. I'm gonna start off with the Queen's English, but if Mo give me something, he got 3 teammates behind him. I don't know whose side they on. I just know I'm outnumbered. Now, if I call for 3 more units to equal out, Mo gonna think it's overkill. Why you need all them other people? What shit you got for people? And see, that's how people get skewed on what they see. Why they need all them cops? Because it's all them people. I don't want to have to raise my level of force so I can raise my level of numbers. And everybody can be peaceful. But we don't see that. We see what our eyes tell us, and we ignorantly apply it wrongly. You look at Breonna Taylor and the injustice that she went through. See, here's a system problem. When you do a search warrant, when you're investigating people, the process should be, I have never ever done a raid warrant on a house and not who was in there. Because we got surveillance. I'm not hitting the house. I'm not hitting Mo's house so I know Mo is there. Now I may not know who else is in there, but I ain't going if Mo ain't there. If I have to watch that house for 2 days, it ain't gonna be none of that shit you see on TV where we go to an empty house. Oh, no. Somebody is watching that house. When the rabbit go in the house, 20 minutes later, here we come. And we're gonna come in force because we don't know who else is in the house. But if I'm looking for Mo, I already know Mo is a felon. We're gonna hit him with numbers that cut down on the chances of any violence going on and hope Mo respects the fact that he's outnumbered and outgunned. Don't always happen like that, but that is truly our hope, which is why I ain't never hit a house with 2 people. To me, that's stupid. But in Breonna Taylor's case, they hit the house. all of a sudden the cameras don't work, and we record everything. It's for our safety and it's for your protection. This keeps us honest and legit. Agencies that don't like to do that, you should try to figure out why. The worst thing that you can get from most of our recordings is my mouth. Sometimes it ain't professional, but I'm okay with that. But when you got agencies that are afraid to record what they're doing with their officers, that's gonna always be a problem. But you got Breonna Taylor, they going in, they're shooting. Who shot first? Who shot first? Let's just say for shits and giggles, her boyfriend shot first. Okay? Because I want to make this easy. Let's say the boyfriend shot first. Well, without the tape, you know what we don't know? We don't know if they came in saying police, which ain't always an indicator because anybody can say police. Can we agree to that? Anybody can say police when they come to your house. Which is why when we go, before we hit a place, we make sure we got patrol cars to cut their blue lights on. The first somebody through has a shield that says police with flashing lights. So you may think that we may not be police, but everything that you're being flooded with them blue lights or red lights, it's gonna say police. They shot back. Rule number 3, you never shoot at anything you can't see, ever. They didn't see what they were shooting at. They're just shooting blindly. That's bad training. That's lack of gun discipline. So even if somebody ever finally gets charged with it, which is a great miscarriage, just that nobody's been charged, because the whole team should be charged, as well as the supervisor who agreed to let them do this. This is how you get compliance. See, if Mo know he my supervisor and I can go out and do shit and Mo can wash his hands clean, well, Mo, why'd you let the detective Bell do this? You're a supervisor. It's his job. It's his job to make sure I'm doing my job. That is his whole job. So if you fire me, you lock me up, but you leave Mo, which problem did you eliminate?
No problem. You didn't eliminate any problem.
You still got Mo there letting shit go on. And this is where we keep falling for the okie doke.
Well, not only that, but the main thing, as far as I'm concerned in that scenario, is the protocol. Somebody has to change the protocol that happened, because if the process that they followed has flaws in it and somebody ended up getting killed, it should be reviewed and rewritten or something.
And that's where you gotta have, like, some agencies. I've had agencies that call me to look over policies, so I can sit there and tell them what's wrong, because you can't keep doing it. You can't keep self-checking, because at some point you become It's kind of like reading of your own work. You put in words that you think should go there, so you keep missing and misspelling words because you know what you meant. Somebody else has to look over your book for you to find all the words you misspelled. Like, damn, I misspelled that, man. Yeah, because you got used to seeing it, you didn't know. You got to get somebody from the outside to do it. You got to want the change to be there.
So let me just interrupt you real quick, because in this case, I would think at a minimum, a civilian review board, but what's your thoughts on using them to help fix some of these processes?
The civilian review board, in my opinion, is only good if they've been to the academy. Because if you don't understand some of the things and why, nothing will make sense to you, because you'll keep thinking of things as a regular person, and you need to see it from a cop's eye view. And you have to understand ability, opportunity, and jeopardy.
All right.
So once you understand those, then it makes more sense. And then it's like, I like having civilians when we do the traffic stops. So like we had one who wanted to be on the civilian review board who couldn't understand why I would teach cops to have their gun in their hand when you make traffic stops. I want you to have it in a Laredo position. I don't want you pointing nobody. I was like, that's just too much. So I let him do a traffic stop. And I had my gun in my hand right on top of the window. And as soon as he said, can I get your hand? I shot him. And I said, until you see their hands, you got to do this. And, you know, part of what I want to teach is I want us to start telling people, put your hands on the steering wheel. Keep your hands on the steering wheel. Once your hands on the steering wheel, guess what you can't do? You can't shoot. So guess what? Now I can come down a little bit. But if you that ratchet dude who want to be disrespectful and don't want to comply, you want to keep doing whatever you want to with your hands. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to find your license and your insurance file. You walk up to the car. Once get them, you can put them on the dash, hands up there, or either put them out. Well, I don't want to do all that. So if you don't want to do all that, guess what? Now I got to come with my gun out because I can't see your hands. We're not going to play a game of equality. And people, well, he don't need it. Yeah, he does. Because you know how easy it is to get to a gun in your car? You know how easy it is? And you don't if you've never been put in that scenario. You can't think like a Christian in a non-Christian world. You think everybody's good. I want to be good. I want to be professional, but you got to give me something. So, when I taught a class for civilians, I tell them all the time, all y'all got these smartphones now, all y'all got Gmail and whatever. When the cops pull you over, cut your recorder on. Life is just that simple. Even if the cops try to take it and they cut it off, it's going to get stored and go to your cloud. So you can still get it back. But if the stop is professional, you can delete it. If it ain't professional, you got evidence. But don't sit there and tell them what you are and ain't going to do. He don't want me to have my phone in my hand. So, I had to show him the phone gun. It looked just like this until you do that. Right there, you got 2 slots. And it holds a 22. Oh, I ain't never seen it. You're right, because you're a white lighter. You don't know what convicts do. So if you don't know what they do, you're gonna always give everybody the benefit of the doubt. So yeah, you can't hold your phone when you're talking to me. I don't need you to have nothing that could be something else. Nothing. Oh, you think somebody's gonna try to hurt you? You're right, I do. So I want to take away all your chances of hurting me. And people get offended by that because they don't know. If you're in a criminal, you don't know what criminals do. If you ain't never seen the pick knife, you don't know what all these things are. And people don't understand it. That's why cops got to be nervous. Because if you go to one of my classes, your safety, my safety is the most paramount thing going. As long as I'm safe, you can be safe. The minute I feel a little bit nervous, we're going to raise the thing. So let me work with you. Do this for me. Put your hands up. Roll your window down. Roll your window down. Why I got to roll my window down? I can hear through the window. Well, if I just want to give you a ticket, how you going to sound it with the window up? Because what I don't want you to do is open that door. What it's not going to happen, that door is not going to open. But you arguing with me for something that you did that was probably wrong. Why I ain't do nothing? There are so many crimes that you could commit without knowing, and it's insane. But, the DC sniper, remember them? Remember they had a little hole in the trunk where they could shoot from? See, and this is why cops have, because I can pull a car over, but what if somebody's in the trunk and walking up? They're going to shoot me and I'll never see them. This is why cops have to be extra careful. And people they shouldn't be scared. Are you shitting me? Do you know what they have to go through? Do you know what they have to be prepared for? You don't ever know who wants you dead because you don't ever know what they're doing. So some of the things, which is why when people tell me about some things, I don't give them the same credence. You got to give me something that they did was illegal or that was pushing the boundary too much. And that's why I like having you most, so you can ask me questions. But yeah, there are tons of ways to record to stop. Tons. In most states, the law is clear. As long as I'm part of recording, I can record anything I'm a part of. So if a cop tell you can't record, he already full of shit. You can always record in your own dwelling, always. Or in your car is your dwelling. But how do we make the system better? Know what our rights are and what they aren't. Know what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. These are the things we have to know. Knowing somebody's telling us something, bench on, or civil rights activists, and they're giving us a bill of goods. Know when to attack the police chief. Know when to attack the sheriff. Ask them why this is this. Ask them. We don't want to do this. It's too easy for us to just go out and blame people. And as I was saying earlier, we blame people and we blame for the wrong things. It's easy to dismiss us because we're talking emotionally and not factually. Well, what's your policy on chokeholds? Why do you have this? Why do you have that? New Orleans teaches a maneuver where they put the knee on the neck. It's against the law in Georgia. The only time I can put my knee on your neck is never. Not even for deadly force. Because if I put my knee on your neck, that means you're already on the ground. That's what it means. That's what it means. So why would I ever put my knee on your neck? Because there's nothing but bad things that can happen. It's too easy to put that. I don't know my weight. I don't know how much adrenaline I got going. So I can put too much pressure on you. Your carotid is right there. So if you're turning your head to try to see, my knee and my body weight is on your carotid, which means I'm gonna slowly choke you out. you'll still be able to talk. So I won't think that I'm choking you. You saying I can't breathe, you're talking, that means you can breathe. But because your blood flow is slowing, and that's all I need to do to knock you out. Once you get knocked out and I'm still there, I'm slowing your airflow. I'm slowing it. But because I got adrenaline going, I don't see that. I don't feel that, which is why we don't teach knee on the neck, because you can't control your body weight in that situation. And these are the things where you got to put people through scenarios so they can understand this. And so anytime I see a cop put his knee on somebody's neck, first thing I do is, where is he? It's illegal in Georgia. That's a deadly force move. It's a red move. As soon as I see it, okay, is this his first time? If it's first time, it's retraining. If it's his second time, it's dismissal. Because you're using deadly force in the wrong situation. But what does your policy say? I'm in Minneapolis. Minneapolis policy said they can use that chokehold for non-compliance. Understand what I just told you was their rule. For you telling me no to something, I could put your life at risk. For non-compliance, which means you told me no. You say no, I can choke you. And that's why I say, it's funny to me, not funny in a ha-ha way, but based on Minneapolis rules, what Derek Chauvin did was in accordance with policy. Chauvin didn't want to get in the car. That meant he was non-compliant. The policy said that Derek Chauvin could put his knee on his neck to bring him into compliance. That's why I said, from a business standpoint, Derek Chauvin was innocent. He stuck with policy. One says, I was confronted once, bus for recording, when I told him it's my.
Mo, I think we may have lost your host for right now, so go ahead and keep talking, brother.
Oh, okay.
Tell us more about your book.
Oh man, yeah, because I can't hang out. I can't hang with DVP, but let's see. Let me see what this comment says here. Okay, I see the comments going by, but we'll wait for DVP to come back. But my take on a lot of this, the police system, is that it's a protocol issue, and there's a lot of dysfunction within the police force. Okay, I'm not saying that they're not good police officers, but there's ways that you can circumvent that system that they have in place and not be held accountable. One way you cannot be held accountable, you just think about it. Anytime a police officer does something to you, what is the process that you need to do or that you follow in order to get somebody to listen to you? I'll be honest, I watch the police videos all day. I'm not a police officer. That's why I'm here with DVP. I'm just providing support. I did maybe 2 years research on police and what they do and the situations they get put in and crime in general. And I learned a lot during that time frame. One thing I'll admit, I don't think being a police officer is an easy job. I think DVP or Roy can attest to that. I don't think it's an easy job because it's a lot of it. You have to make sure your mind is right. You got to make sure you make the right decisions. They do have something known as qualified immunity, which I'm not an expert in that. I'll let DVP talk about that when he comes back. But it is qualified immunity is something that gives the police officers a level of protection that civilians don't have. And essentially, the way I understand it and what it means is that qualified immunity means that you can proceed and do things that maybe a civilian wouldn't be able to do, and you won't be held responsible. Like I said, I don't know all the details, I'd like DVP to talk about that, but I do know that process exists, and that's why you hear a lot of cases where the wrong thing was done and the right people don't get prosecuted. All right, we all know about that.
All right, well, Mo, let's do this. We're gonna take us a quick break, man. We'll let the folks take a break and see what we got going with DVP.
Okay.
So
man.
y'all stay tuned. We'll get DVP back in the mix right here on Random Thoughts with DVP. Featuring Mo.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
We are making the virtual HBCU experience available wherever you live through Stillman Online. We offer online degrees in business, criminal justice, psychology, and religion. Stillman also offers technology badges in cybersecurity and data analytics. You can participate in all student activities, fraternities and sororities, internships, graduation ceremonies, and much more. Apply for admission today at stillman.edu. Stillman College, where we prepare you for a different world.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
The top HBCU programs in the nation come to Montgomery, Alabama's Riverwalk Stadium this May 11th through 14th for the Black College World Series. The best Black college baseball teams in the NCAA Division II and the NAIA will battle for Black baseball's ultimate pride. Games will be streamed live at www.mybcsn.net. Tickets are available now online at www.blackcollegechampionships.com.
Oh, that spin class was brutal. Well, you can try using the Buick's massaging seat.
Ooh, yeah, that's nice. Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on? Sure, it's wireless.
Pick something we all like.
Okay, hold on. What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password?
Buick Envision 2021.
Oh, you should pick something stronger. That's really predictable.
That's a really tight spot.
Don't worry, I used to hate parallel parking.
Me too.
Hey.
Really outdid yourself.
Yes, we did.
The all-new Buick Envision, an SUV built around you, all of you.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website.
Hello, everyone. Well, it seems as we have lost our fearless leader for today. This is your boy Roy. So we're gonna fortunately go ahead and shut it down. We'll find out what somebody can get in touch with DVP, have him holler at me. Let me know everything's all right. But we want to thank you guys for tuning in, and we will get with you next week. Take care.